An incredible journey with an inspiring man.
I don't think we imagine how treacherous the terrain would be.
Former New Orleans Saint Steve Gleason, today on NFL Films Presents.
There have been 27 players diagnosed with ALS in the past 60 years. More ALS patients than that, who never played football, will die in the next 2 days. The question of whether I would play football again is a popular question. But would I give up my wife, Michelle, or our son Rivers? In some way, football brought me to them. And tell me what my life would look like in detail if I had not played football. Would I have gone to college? Would I have found something passionate and meaningful to do? Would I have made an impact on others? The simple answer is this. Right now, I am happy. My life is not easy, but it's awesome.
On this very spot 7 years ago, Steve Gleason made the biggest play of his NFL career.
Katrina could not blow it out. Katrina could not drown it. It's back, leading the way for a city, a state, and a region that will be back too.
We all knew walking into that building, there was no way any team would beat us. There was no way. This was one of those games that was just so much bigger than just football.
Here's Kane and a punt. It is going to be covered by the Saints for a touchdown.
With that one play, Steve Gleason became a local hero. 2 years later, he retired from football, got married, and went on an epic 6-month honeymoon.
We went to Greece, Turkey, Nepal, Indonesia, Thailand, New Zealand, Hawaii, Australia. Dove into the different cultures and just had adventures everywhere we went.
Just 18 months later, he and Michelle received devastating news.
You go through a series of tests, and ALS is a rule-out disease, and so you go from one test to the other. After, 8 months of testing is when we got the final diagnosis.
Despite the grim diagnosis, Gleason vowed to keep living as long and as well as he could. In the year that followed, he completed his MBA. He and his wife took a cross-country trip to Alaska, started a family, and a foundation. Team Gleason's mission is to provide and document adventures for people suffering from ALS and other neuromuscular diseases. Their hope is that increased awareness might one day lead to a cure.
Through Team Gleason, we get to inspire people, we get to help other ALS patients, we get to inspire people who don't have ALS. That's why we're trying to live this life and diagnosis publicly so people can see the reality of it, understand it, care about it, and hopefully something can change.
This is my lab, my favorite room, where I get to show off. We installed automation in the house, so I'm able to control lights, fans, doors, and all of our electronics.
Before losing the ability to speak, Gleason recorded thousands of words and phrases. Using retinal scan technology, Steve can communicate through a computer, one letter at a time. Incredible though it seems, the man who's lost almost all of his abilities has managed to keep his sense of humor.
Benny, here on camera, do not this up.
Team Gleason's motto is no white flags, the perfect mantra for what would be their greatest odyssey, climbing the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu.
I'd say about 3 or 4 months ago, we just sort of crossed paths on Twitter and Facebook, and he reached out to me via Twitter, like a direct message that simply said, like, hey, we're going to Machu Picchu are you interested? We'd like to take you. And I thought it was like spam. I mean, I had to read it 3 or 4 times.
An epic journey like this will take a small army. So joining Steve and Kevin are a dozen members of Team Gleason and a former teammate of Gleason's, Scott Fujita.
I feel like I'm one of Steve's best friends, and I also feel like there's another 150 or 200 people that can say the exact same thing. And people could say that long before this diagnosis. He has that kind of charisma and that kind of personality where he just lets you in. You don't have to feel sorry for him. You just accept him as he accepts you, and that's why he's such a good friend to everybody. Within a couple days of Steve's diagnosis, I remember holding hands with Steve and saying, I will follow you to the ends of the earth if that's what it takes. And I will.
In 2006, in its hour of need, Gleason put the city of New Orleans on his back. Now, to climb Machu Picchu, his friends will have to put him on theirs. Coming up next.
You're going to be marooned at altitude. How much time do you need to safely get from the hotel or wherever you are to the train station?
ALS doesn't just kill you, it shuts you down, little by little, bit by bit.
Maybe it's holding a pencil that gets difficult.
Your mind keeps working, but your body doesn't respond.
Soon you can't hug your mother or pick up your child.
First you can't catch the ball, then you can't catch your breath.
ALS doesn't just kill you.
It steals your life, a little bit at a time.
And it doesn't stop until there's nothing left.
Unless we stop it first.
Steve Gleason has no illusions about what he's up against. In his condition, the trip may simply be too dangerous. So he's taking every precaution.
Machu Picchu is at an altitude of approximately 8,000 feet. And even more complicated is the fact that to get there, you need to go to Cusco first, which is an altitude of 11,200 feet. And what we plan to do is to expose him to the same altitude, but in a controlled condition.
Nice shirt.
Nice shirt? Well, now you messed everything up. You said I had a nice shirt on. Oh, we're gonna listen to music too? Hot diggity dog. Getting ready to go to 11,200 feet.
I believe heroes take adversity or tragedy and turn it into opportunity.
Passing 10-5.
And then share the opportunity with others, so the others can do the same.
Passing 11.
In that sense, we all have the chance to be heroes, to some degree. I happen to have been dealt more adversity than most, so, the way I look at it, there is greater opportunity for heroics.
Okay. 11-2. He's going to take a calculated risk in trying to attempt this trip, and he knows that. And the people around him that care about him know that too.
I'm excited. I mean, I don't really like to worry about a lot. I don't think Steve does either. I think he leaves the worrying up to his wife. She's a little bit concerned, but everybody's just, we just want to get there. You know, I think we don't know what we're really going to run into there, so it's kind of just improvise on the move, you know. Just going to have to make it happen.
This trip is more than a journey. It's a week-long pilgrimage, a celebration of love and life. By the time it's complete, however, it will have pushed every member of Team Gleason to the very limit of courage, stamina, and faith.
That morning, we flew from Lima to Cusco. Hotel, to a bus, to a plane, to a bus to a hotel. In Cusco it was rough because the whole city is cobblestone. So, my wheelchair was super difficult to drive. Then, I guess the best way to describe this is, I had a bathroom accident, which is fairly common with ALS patients. Anyway, at that point, Our group had reservations for dinner, which meant driving my chair 3 blocks from our hotel to the restaurant on cobblestone streets, and I felt like skipping the dinner.
The vibe was, it was bad. It's a bad, I can tell in Steve's face, he was just exhausted. It's pure exhaustion, frustration. When he's mentally down, it's hard to bring someone back up when they have to deal with what he has to deal with. So once he gets to the spot, it's very difficult. It's draining. He wrote something with his eyes saying, I'm questioning God. He's either cursing me or he's absent. So I just know I'm waiting, literally waiting. I'm like, this is gonna be a terrible dinner. And then I just look over and this girl comes up to me with a phone and she wants to show me a picture. She had just climbed Machu Picchu yesterday in a no white flag shirt.
No way, you're so amazing. You're so amazing. I don't think you have any idea what you've done for so many people. I really don't think you do. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting you. I'm so terrified of heights. And I knew coming here that that's the shirt that I wanted to wear because somebody like him who can do so much and not be scared of life, I want to be like that. I want to be like him.
It's humbling. It's totally overwhelming. Jenny, to my knowledge, does not have ALS in her family, but she has been impacted by my story and the work we do at Team Gleason.
Seeing this in person and seeing that we are making a difference and Steve is making a difference, and it means a lot. This night that was going to be destined to fail is going to be one of the best nights of our lives.
The team's destination is Sanctuary Lodge, only steps away from Machu Picchu. But between the hotel and the train stop is 11 miles of the Andes. Machu Picchu is home to the gods, and getting to them is not easy. But the chance encounter with Jenny has provided inspiration, and Team Gleason is emotionally back on track.
And all of a sudden this train drops you off in what feels like the middle of the jungle, and you got about 2 yards of space between the edge of the train track and a cliff that leads down to this river.
And I jump off the train, kind of start stressing out. We've got 2 patients nearly paralyzed. What are we going to do here?
And it was a 4-foot drop from the train car that, 2 guys had to sort of grab me and airlift me down. That was scary as hell.
Is this a joke? Somebody playing a joke on us? They drop us off. There's no stop. There's no nothing there. Make sure you get out of the way, because if you don't, this train is going to hit you.
I mean, that to me was like, oh, just got real.
I'm feeling very anxious. We had no idea it was going to be like this, but we have no choice. There's no turning back. The train's gone. So onward we go.
The first thing we have to do is go down like 30 stairs, and I'm like, well, I guess the hardest part's going to be in the beginning. And that's going to get easier from that point on.
I was thinking, are the poles we fabricated gonna hold up? Then I thought, are these guys about to lift me on their shoulders and take me down this staircase?
Oh my gosh.
By the time I processed what was going on, it was like, well, I can resist this or I can accept it. But either way, it's happening.
We crossed this footbridge and everybody feels good about it. Yeah, we just crossed the bridge. And that was challenging in itself. And that was just the tip of the iceberg.
They get him down and we're like, I'm thinking it's going to have to be the hardest part. There's no way it's going to be this hard. and then we continue on, and those parts keep coming, up and down, up and down. Seriously? That's just wrong.
That was challenging. I think we expected challenging, but this is a whole different level. We asked Kevin during the break if he thought we were crazy. He said, hell yeah, you guys are crazy.
Hiking over goat trails at 9,000 feet is tough. Doing it while carrying 2 grown men is next to impossible. It requires constant stopping to make adjustments. And all those tweaks have taken a lot of time.
Just the left.
Take the zip tie off. Up, more.
These chairs, I think in theory, it was a great idea, and we had to make some custom modifications, you know, for what we expected to be some uneven terrain, but I don't think we imagined how treacherous the terrain would be.
The chairs, though tough, aren't tough enough.
One of the welding snaps, so one of the rear carry poles is no longer, it doesn't work anymore, it's obsolete.
We've got a little bit of a maintenance issue on the chair on the back, so guys are seeing what they can do to craft something so they're able to pick up the chair.
Look, here's a problem, here's a solution. You know, there's no, well, we can't go any further. It's, oh, we can go further, and we're going to do it.
Team Gleason desperately starts to jury-rig the chair using whatever they can. Bamboo, rope, zip ties. It's MacGyvering in the mountains. And it works. By the time Gleason's chair breaks a few hours later, the guys are old hands at fashioning a fix. They simply won't let this trail beat them.
That's no white flag. You don't give up, you don't surrender. If this guy can do this every day without complaining a bit, this is nothing. This is one day. This isn't every day, this is one day.
The day has been grueling and seemingly endless. And still it is not enough. Team Gleason is hours away from the lodge, with some of the toughest climbing still ahead. Team Gleason has covered roughly 7 miles of the Inca Trail. Night is falling fast, and this trail is no place to be in the dark.
At one point, I think it was 5:30, 6 o'clock, and the sun's already going down. And then we hear our guide say, well, we still got about 3 hours left. And then your next thought is, how are we going to get through this? Yeah, no lights on the trail. A few of us had flashlights. I honestly don't know how we did it. I don't know how we did it.
I was far less scared at night. I am not sure if that was because I could not see what was over the edge of the trail.
I was asking myself, is this the dumbest thing I've ever done? So I was thinking, why am I putting myself in this position?
Oh my God. Holy shit.
You okay?
Just some high steps. It's not narrow, but it's like straight up. It's crazy.
Let's go, guys. 3, 2, 1. It was so steep, so dark, so slippery. That was by far the hardest part of this trip.
A little bit longer, guys, a little bit longer.
There's bravery, strength, and courage. Just beyond that is what Team Gleason has done.
I've played football a lot of years. I've had a lot of two-a-days and training camps. Physically, that was the most exhausting and draining thing I have ever been through.
It was awesome. We achieved the unachievable, and it feels great.
I think the word is relief. No one was hurt. We made it.
Oh, that was a piece of cake.
Ready for a drink?
Yeah.
We say awesome and easy, but today, awesome was the hardest thing I've ever done.
I don't really think I felt the sense of accomplishment until the next day. And I had a chance to step away from it, get a good night's rest, and digest it all about how crazy it was, how epic of an adventure it was, and how significant of an accomplishment that was to carry two men in wheelchairs as far as we did, again, in the dark, which I don't think has ever happened before.
The chairs have taken a beating. So have the men who carried them.
It was truly heroic. They were amazing. I am not sure what I did to deserve those two in my life, but they were incredible.
Blair has pushed himself beyond his limits for the sake of his friend.
He was my hero before and after being diagnosed. I feel truly blessed and lucky just to be a part of his life.
The team's sacrifice is rewarded. They finally reach Machu Picchu.
The mission of our foundation is to raise awareness for ALS, and also, to show people to love life, live life, and I think we did that.
This journey has come to an end, but Team Gleason's mission continues.
Because ALS research is underfunded and under-resourced, patients have had no option but to fade quietly and die. That is not okay. That is not okay.
So Steve has chosen life. To fight with a strength born from and buoyed by love. No white flags here. Even more important, his message is being heard. A lifetime ago, everyone figured Steve for a ball player. Turns out, though, his real life's work is down a different path.